Man, Lax, let me tell you something, man. Mm. Out of all the things that I've been waiting to drop for a very long time again, this one right here is one of the most important ones, it feels like to me, that I am glad that has finally resurfaced. There's been so much talk about this daggone game coming back to fruition, or if there would ever be a remaster, remix, and there are definitely a lot, and I mean a lot, of different mods that have come through the grapevine over the years. But to finally have a Final Fantasy Tactics officially released to the new age, and just to be reminded of all those many eons ago, yes, us 90s kids had it good. But now we got it even better, because not only does this game have updates as far as graphics, enhancements, and all those other wonderful bits and pieces, but one of the most important things it has finally is the good old voice acting. And man, oh man, what a treat that's going to be. Whew! Now, I'm not playing this right now, as the title descripts and depicts also, to let you know. I am just showing you the installation and also the intro, if you will, if there even is one, right here at the forefront. And then we'll be preparing ourselves, because as you already know, at the time of this video, as you can see down in the corner, it is 2025 in the month of September, on the day of the 30th. And October is right around the corner. We have quite a few things that we need to take care of in October. So that's what we'll be dealing with. The game launched, by the way, at the time of this recording at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's probably plenty of people that's already playing it. And again, I really am looking forward to playing this. But I do know that there is some stuff that I need to take care of still, and I'm going to take care of it. It's just a matter of building up the muster, the energy, and the determination to do it. By the way, in regards to Final Fantasy Tactics, the version that I purchased was the I don't know if it's called the deluxe edition. I think that's what it is. It's the one that was the more expensive one, that comes with all of the special items, including the 2 different alternate outfits that Ramza wears. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing if those blades and helmets and armors and accessories that also came with the with the deluxe edition are items that I've never ever seen before, because there's plenty of different variants, as I've mentioned earlier, of Final Fantasy Tactics, and some games had certain things that were released, or especially or specifically, I should say, released to said game. And like the War of the Lions had specific classes. The original vanilla game has specific classes, and I obviously already know that the modded versions of these iterations have had their own different classes as well too. So there's a lot of love for this game, for those of us who grew up with it and know it. There's a lot of work to be done in this game too. And I'm still trying to contemplate on whether or not I want to do commentary when I finally do play this on the channel, because I kind of don't really want to take away from the quality, the hard work, and the enjoyment of the game itself. Because again, to be fully voiced over, I mean, we had a lot of RPGs back then that already had that. But there were certain ones that's just like you really, really wanted to know what it was like. And War of the Lions was just a special treat back in the day to behold, to finally have some light of that type of quality especially since it was cutscenes that were being done. The few cutscenes that it kind of reminds me almost a little bit of Valkyrie Profile Lena, for those of us who know about Valkyrie Profile as well. Definitely that game had, of course, voice dialogue, periodically through the game. But as far as like cutscenes, you had like the anime cutscenes, but we now had, of course, the 3D versions of those cutscenes. And we kind of got that type of art style, switching back over here to Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of Alliance. And we were able to receive the, the in-game cutscenes that were drawn with that kind of hand style, kind of scratched style art. It's really good. And I'm wondering if they put that back in this game as well, or if it's going to be some fully new cutscenes. A lot of different things to be thinking about. I know for a fact that getting some of the items in this game has always been a challenge too. There are certain stages that you can go to de-level your characters and then build them back up from scratch. I think that's what I did, or and a lot of people for that matter did, with Cloud when they unlocked him back in the day, as we finally had the game ready to be witnessed. So again, there's plenty of things to do. I'm sure. And with that being said, let's go ahead and see this intro at the very least and see what they're talking. Whew, grab a controller and kick back. This game needs a controller for best experience. So grab an Xbox controller, a DualSense controller, or a really kind of controller looking device that can connect to your PC. Well, you don't have to worry about that, PC. You and I both already know that the same remote controller that I've been using for a good brick is the one that I have currently in my possession as I turned it on. And we'll just finish waiting for it to connect. And it is now connected. And we will hit the OK. And now let's sit back and let the executable launch. Whew, calm down, Will. Oh, it's going to make me want to play already. And I know I'm not going to be playing. Whew. I'm good. I'm okay. You can now select your initial settings before starting the game. Please choose the settings that best match your preferences and play environment. Okay. Press the A button. Oh! Look at all these settings. So many options. The good thing is, of course, you can at least see right here in real time. Of course, we've pretty much been exposed to that for these modern day games. Text language will, of course, be English. Voice language will be English. I saw that some people wrote that they want other translations that are missing, which clearly we only have the English and Japanese. But that's where the modders come in, of course. They will be able to take care of that for folks who would like the different translations. Although it is possible that this game may in the future have patch updates that will show those things. So got plenty of things to think about and plenty of things that'll probably happen. Let's see. Display speaker names in cinematics. Choose whether or not to display speaker names during in-game cinematics. You know what? We'll put it on because it was on in the old game. So might as well put it on here. Sound effect subtitles. Choose whether to display subtitles that describe the various sounds that occur during cutscenes. I'm intrigued to see that. Of course, I won't see it until we actually play, but it's nice to have it on now. Master volume, music volume, sound effects, voice, movie volume, and sound visualization. Is there anything else? Oh, no. Okay. Well, let's see. Choose whether to display a sound wave visualization on both sides of the screen to support the sense of hearing. I don't think I need that. I do like that, though. I love hearing that old school sound. Oh, man, that felt good. Can I get it one more time, please? The game will start with these settings. Oh, it brings a tear to my eye. Whew. I've already been down the classic line. I'm not going down that road. I'm going down this road over here. Let's check out the about. Enhanced. The enhanced version is based on the original 1997 release of Final Fantasy Tactics, but features full voice acting, additions and adjustments to dialogue, and animated character portraits to provide a more immersive way to experience the story. This version also boasts higher resolution graphics with an updated user interface, along with improved controls and optimized game balance, making it an ideal choice for returning players and newcomers alike. In addition to see how excited I am? I couldn't even say the word controller, which I'm holding in my hand. In addition to controller support, the enhanced version allows the use of mouse and keyboard, which is a nice feature for those of us who like to play that way. Here are the basic default controls, which I pretty much am familiar with, although some of these things look a little, well, no. Because see, back in the old days, L2 and R2 used to turn the screen, and L1 and R1 would zoom in and zoom out. According to this, it says that it can fast forward, so maybe it allows you now to fast forward through conversations as opposed to, or maybe that's just when you're actually in the cutscene area. Maybe that's not considering when you're in the field. But I do see stuff down here that shows the, toggling, zooming, and moving the cursor and everything else, which probably is where they've been replaced on the analog sticks. That's okay though. Okay. And just for the sake of it, we'll read the information about the classic one. The classic version is intended to be a faithful representation of the original 1997 release of Final Fantasy Tactics, using the English translation from 2007's The War of the Lions version, which I figured is probably what they did. It adds functionality improvements such as autosave to provide a smoother experience to those who wish to enjoy the game as it was originally created. Now, that was one thing I was concerned about that I didn't mention, which I was trying to mention when we were talking about the finding the rare items, because when you autosave, does it allow you to autosave while you're in the battle, and then you can come back to it should you try to go and use the move find item function that the chemist usually uses once you put it on a character? So when you go to look in specific spots, you want to find obviously specific items, and if you can't find it, you usually don't get a chance to go back and find it. This is when you're dealing with the cinematic ones that are specifically like triggered in that fight. Otherwise, you can't go back and do it again another time. So I really hope that that autosave feature does allow you to save during battle, so you can actually go back in case you do not get the item you're actually trying to get. And of course, you can increase your luck or decrease your luck, which that bravery and faith. There's so much that, you know what? Anyway, let me continue. I'm sorry. Please bear the following in mind when playing the classic version. Certain in-game movies and sections of text appear as they did in the 1997 version. Steam achievements are not supported. Controllers and XI or X input support and keyboards can be used. Button prompts displayed throughout the game are based on controllers with X input support. And then of course, okay, so here's what I was talking about. This is the way the basic versions of it used to look like. Even though it says keyboard up there, I think it's taking into account also that these would be the same options that when you're playing it on the remote control. I mean, clearly because they're showing a remote control right there. Okay, so the general options. Let's see what we have in here. We have horizontal camera inversion, vertical camera inversion. I don't really need to mess with that. Display mode is borderless. The resolution, of course, is already set for my TV. We know about VSync. and limit mouse cursor to window, even though choose whether to allow the mouse cursor to move outside the game window. Only applies to window display. Well, we won't be in window display for the most part. We will be inside the full screen when we play. Enables VSync, which may reduce screen tearing. The frame rate becomes unstable. Try disabling this setting. Applies to the classic version also. I'm not going to change the display because we're already in there, like I said. I may change that on my own time just to see what it looks like, if there is a difference. But for the most part, it looks like everything else in here is stuff we already saw. Let's check out the credits before we do anything else. If I recall, this song usually plays when you are looking at the different, what is the name? You would think, considering that I know some stuff about this game, I would know what the different, this is like when they're looking at the books, when you're looking at the different, the bravery, what is it? I know it's not called the bravery files, but it's literally about the story when you're going inside and reading all the information about various parts of history in the game and the timeline that's happened, you know, before and also during and after the you know, the sequence of the game. That's where this song usually plays. Also, it has its moments in other parts of the game as well, but I just definitely remember it at when you're letting I think it's Alakazam, I believe that's what his name is. He's reading to you about the different you know, scrolls that explain what's going on throughout the history of this timeline of this game. And there's the War of the Lions people. Funnily or oddly enough, I've never even played the War of the Lions. I've watched gameplay and I've also watched the cutscenes. But I've never played the War of the Lions game. I have a brother who's played it. Most of y'all know D. He's been on the channel for when we played some games. He's played both variations, and for me, I got introduced to this game through one of my cousins back in 1996. I think I've told this story before, and if I haven't, I'll tell it now. I remember me, him, and our grandfather, rest in peace, we went to Best Buy. We were going there for him because he was doing good in school, my cousin, and he wanted to get this game. It was this game and Resident Evil he was going to go get. But I remember distinctively coming in the room when he was on the little small 4x3. We used to talk about the portable ones back in the day. He was on the small 4x3 TV, and he was playing this game, and I walked in the room, and they were just, I don't know what it was, man, but it was something about these little chibi style characters, because I didn't even know that's what they were called then at that time. But these little chibi style characters, just, they drew to me, especially just walking in place and the music. that first opening scene where Princess Olivia is being kidnapped, spoiler alert for those who don't know, by Delita, that whole thing, just like, I knew one day, I said to myself, I have to play this game. And we know when you got an older cousin who just plays something, or just an older sibling, and the younger sibling sees, they're like, oh, I'm like this. This looks interesting. And certain things, just like anything in life, they stick with you and they stay with you. And this game stayed with me ever since that day. I have my Final Fantasies that I like. Obviously, I like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy, or Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy 7. And I mean, I'm pretty much a Final Fantasy guy as far as 7 is concerned. And then, of course, we have our Kingdom Hearts. You know, shout outs to them being able to make their path over to Disney, even though they don't want them no more, but that's a whole nother story. Oh, and speaking of Final Fantasy 7 later, they showed them right there at the end too. I like that. That means we're gonna get to hear Cloud and Aerith also talking in this game when you finally get them. And again, the stones are key important items to get those individuals, and you have to do certain requirements. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the game and see what this first beginning piece looks like. If it segues like I think it will right into the story, then we'll just come back here and then we'll just exit on out. But I'd like to at least see the entrance. Okay, we already read that. We know all this. We know all this. And we know all this. Oh, there's all... Oh, nope. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Man, I had so much goosebumps just now. Whew, the Zodiac Brave story. That's what I was trying to remember. Oh, okay, we get some extra sauce. Wait a minute.
Ivalice, a kingdom blessed by the light of the gods and ruled by the two-headed lion. A year after her defeat in the 50 Years' War, the king succumbed to malady, leaving a mere boy of 2 to ascend the throne. Whoever became the child's guardian would rule in truth. Duke Larg, brother to Her Majesty the Queen, was widely expected to assume the role, but the council, fearing the Queen would wield excessive influence, moved instead in support of the late king's cousin, Duke Goltana. The Dukes, Goltana and Larg, both were decorated generals who had proven themselves in many a battle during the 50 Years' War. While most of the powerful houses rallied beneath the banner of the Black Lion, Goltana, those nobles and knights who were left to languish in the wake of the war flocked to the banner of the White Lion, Larg. Goltana, the Black, and Larg, the White. The conflict between these men would come to be known as the War of the Lions.
And of course, we know the rest. I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, there you have it, man. There you have it. So, like I said, we got some stuff we still got to take care of. And we definitely going to get to those things first. But you could be rest assured, even though there'll be other channels that'll definitely be playing this way before I do, and I have the opportunity to do it right now, as much as I would love to, I have things that I still need to finish before I move on to any further games. But you can cool sure believe that as soon as the time comes when those other ones are done, this probably be at the top of the list, even though there were other games I was going to play next after I finished completing the other ones. That this has to be next. It has to be next. I owe it to myself to actually play this on the channel, considering I've been wanting to play this. I have mods that I wanted to play that I mentioned earlier that are of Final Fantasy Tactics, but now that this has come out, it only feels like it should be fitting that I would start, where it all really started, even though it's an enhanced version, but that's neither here nor there. In any case, that is to be the future, but for now, on this one, you must wait to hear the Zodiac Brave story through this channel. But until then, my dear Mad Lags, thank you for this viewing of the installation, information, and introduction to Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. And with that note, we say like, share, and subscribe are the words that I employ. A thumbs up and a salute, and I hope you enjoy. And until then, there it is, and there it is again. Peace.